Throughout history, people wore piercings because of their cultural practices, their different religious systems, or their desire to perform a public image. Piercing has been around for a long time, and in fact, the oldest mummified body to be found with a piercing is said to be over 5,000 years old. The first ear piercing arose amongst primitive tribes for magical purposes. The tribes believed that metal warded off demons and bad spirits. Because of the magical property, they began to wear metallic ear piercings for constant protection. Ancient Egyptians are some of the oldest bodies found with stretched earlobes. They loved to decorate their bodies, and specific piercings were even restricted to the royal family. The navel piercing, for example, was only worn by the pharaoh, and anyone else wearing it would be executed. This culture performed their wealth and beauty with their piercings. Ancient Romans, on the other hand, were very practical, and all of their piercings were worn to serve a purpose. While women used gemstones and earrings to show off wealth and power, men in the army wore nipple piercings as a badge of honor, strength, and dedication to the Roman Empire. Gladiators and slaves, on the other hand, had their genitals pierced. This prevented serious injury for the gladiators because it allowed them to tie back their genitals when in combat. This piercing also prevented both slaves and gladiators from having sex without their master's approval. On the other side of the world, Native American tribes, like the Aztecs and Mayans, pierced their tongues as part of a religious bloodletting ritual. They believed this brought them closer to their gods. Native American tribes also used other piercings, like the septum piercing, to make them appear fiercer in battle. They used feathers, bone, and tusks commonly in their piercings. In Central and South America, women with pierced lips were considered more attractive. The holes in their lips often were stretched to huge sizes to emphasize the lips as much as possible. Cultures like the Aztecs and Mayans began to decorate their lip piercings with jade and gemstones, which they believed would increase their sexual appeal. Piercing died down around the Middle Ages in Europe because the Church condemned it as sinful. However, during the Renaissance and Elizabethan eras, piercing picked up again. For example, sailors began to wear piercings again in case of shipwreck. The jewelry would pay for a Christian burial if they washed up on shore. Later, members of the nobility wore at least one earring. These earrings were easy ways to display the amount of power and wealth they all had.